Good evening, everyone. Welcome
Hey, what's
back
up,
to
everybody?
Unveil Paranormal podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're super excited for tonight's guest. We have some really cool, crazy guys tonight.
We do for sure.
Excited, Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm super excited. This is going to be fun.
I'm a little nervous to have these guys on here. But they are very interesting characters. I'm really looking forward to this interview with them and getting to know them and what they're up to. We'll bring them on here. It's LEP Productions. We have the president, Jason Snyder. Hello. We have your vice president, Jay. And then we have the production manager, Joe. What? I said vice president.
Yeah, I said nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too. How are you guys today?
We are very good. Thank you very much for having us on your show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being our guest.
Well, thank you for joining us, guys. I greatly appreciate it. And the boys say hello. Okay, cool. So
what's happening?
Tell us a little bit. Just let's get started with the beginnings. I want to know what LEP Productions is. What is it?
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe. Joe is our production. Joe is our production manager.
Just moved up from intern, so like, Prez, go ahead.
I thought we gave you the name I thought we gave him the name production president so we could call him our little peepee.
Well, our little peepee.
Is that right, Joe?
So I've been told.
I might have to change my camera angle. I didn't notice that my son put two bongs up here on my shelf. Sorry.
Well, you're in a safe state. You're good.
Let me block it with my head here.
So what is it, Jason? What's LEP?
All right. So LEP Productions, we're a production company. We do podcasts, short films, feature films, pretty much anything and everything that needs to be filmed. We travel. We do a lot of different conventions. We also have Jezebel, our haunted shithouse demon doll, and we also have Bodie and the Bigfoot that we travel all around the world with. So, in a nutshell, it's just it's a production company. We do have a YouTube channel. We've got Paranormal Mysteries, which was a paranormal series that we filmed shortly before COVID. And as everybody knows, COVID pretty much stopped a bunch of what we were doing. We had the Jezebel Chronicles are on there. It's kind of like Jezebel's little story. We've got a ton of different things with Bodie and the Bigfoot on there as well. But we're branching off into a different avenue, if you will, here shortly. And I'm sure we're going to talk more about that. But that's in and of itself, that's what LEP Productions is. Jay and I started this company a while ago, and Joe came on. We started it as like a podcast. We were stirring the pot. We had Joe on as a guest, and that was how many years ago, Joe?
4 years.
4 years, 4 years ago.
No.
And he's never left the podcast.
No.
So he started.
It was before COVID.
It's like Hotel California.
It was before COVID. It was almost 5 years ago. We got our first podcast, and we started this shit.
At least
5. Tomato. Yeah.
So yeah, we do a lot of different podcasts. Stirring the Pot is one of them. We do a bunch of stuff. Our goal is to just have a good time. All three of us are paranormal investigators. We do a lot of filming with that as well. So we just do a lot of traveling. The three of us do a lot of stuff together, and shortly here we're going to be branching off and doing a ton more.
Awesome.
So, sweet.
Are you guys regionally in the Midwest then?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
2 in Ohio, 1 in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wisconsin.
Can you tell who's in Northern Ohio? Can you tell who's in Southern Ohio? And then
Hey,
can you tell who's in Wisconsin?
What are you trying to say?
I think I can guess on that one.
I already know that answer, so.
If it's anything like Northern Indiana and Southern Indiana, I have my suspicions.
Yeah.
I say it all the time, man. It's the same for Indiana, in my opinion. Interstate 30 cuts across both of them. Anything north of 70 is Michigan South. Anything south of 70 is Kentucky North.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Like, think about the people in both those areas, and then
Fair
you get
enough.
Then you get Columbus and Indianapolis, and nobody claims them.
So,
Hey,
just
wait,
clear-
wait. I do. I live in Indy.
And my point's been made.
I was gonna say we all know Brad.
I just barely live in Indy, but I live in Indy.
It's rubbed off on you, bro. We can tell.
No pun intended.
So you got Joe clear up in Wisconsin on his own out there. Joe, what's it like in the haunted world of Wisconsin? Because I haven't been there to investigate.
It's kind of cheesy.
He'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Tip your bartender.
He's good at that too.
Bartending? Nice.
Yeah.
No, tipping him.
Oh, just a tip?
Just a tip. No, you know
Oh,
what?
boy.
Wisconsin's okay, but have you ever noticed that, like, wherever you wherever you live, it seems like everything out, like all the events, all the conventions, all the haunted locations, they're always like so far from you. But right, like I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm in like the cesspool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Wisconsin. I'm not. But I live here. But it just seems like everything is just out of reach. Hence why I've gone to Ohio like 100 times. And
because Ohio is the third most active state in the union with paranormal activity.
That's what somebody said on YouTube. But yeah, I mean,
it's not just YouTube.
Just saying.
Ohio and Michigan. Michigan seems to be where a lot of the paracons are also.
The last big one up there.
A lot of Bigfoot paracons.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
There was-
I'm in Indiana and there's nothing here. So
There was a huge sighting, Bigfoot sighting just recently about 4 miles from my house. I haven't got over there to investigate yet because I'm working too many hours.
What are you waiting on?
Nice.
Invitation?
I've been working like an adult. I've had to do adult things and it
whatever.
sucks.
what's Bodine been doing? That's the question.
8 months of vacation every year. Yeah.
So let me ask this. Isn't there something going on in Wisconsin with you all?
In November?
Yeah.
I think so, Joe. Why don't you touch on
There
that
is
one?
Bell City Paracon down in Kenosha. Well, I think it's actually considered Summers, Wisconsin, which
Okay.
it's Kenosha. Yes, they're November 2nd. They're throwing a convention down there. We're going to be there. I heard Bodine may make an appearance. I heard Jezebel's going to come. It's going to be a great time. Going to be a great time.
You guys
Awesome.
being vendors then, correct?
Yes.
Few
Okay.
vendors and speakers. Can
Yeah,
you believe we're-
I think we're speaking on something. I don't know yet, but
Holy
Do they
shit.
have rules about what you can talk about? Because I'm
Yeah.
a little nervous for y'all.
they
I
haven't
haven't-
given me. No, they
yeah,
given
I
us
haven't
the
heard
list.
yet. So
People don't
Do they have the censor bar ready to go?
I hope so. They better have someone right there with just a beep.
Right. I think our pair redneck froze up.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
pretty
Southern Ohio. The internet's a little iffy there. They tend to cut them off.
Yeah.
That-
Oh, gotcha.
if-
Gotcha. Priorities up north, huh?
Hmm.
Well, yeah, that's where all the cool people are.
Right.
Brad's right in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
what am I, chopped liver? Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just kind of right here, like just south of 70.
Well, he must have made the cut because his internet's not freezing up.
That is true. That is
Right,
true.
see?
He's up running.
Yep,
Oh,
and there he goes.
All right.
He'll
Well,
be
he'll
back.
be back, I'm sure.
It's just like high
Um,
school all over again.
Right.
So, okay, I heard a little bit about what you guys are up to from Brad, and Brad had mentioned to me about, you said Bodie, the Bigfoot, is that correct?
Bodine.
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 Yep.
Yeah. He has his
What
own
is-
Facebook page.
Really? I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to go follow him. So, is this a life-size Bigfoot we're talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It's about J size, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Jay-size?
give or take. So the story behind Bodine is Jay and I found Bodine years ago, and he was basically kicked out and shunned from the Bigfoot community. He's not as big
wow.
as the normal Bigfoot. So we kind of found him and we took him in, and he actually really enjoys people. So he
Okay.
found some bibbed overalls that he wears, and
Nice.
he just loves going to conventions and traveling. And God, we've had him Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa. I mean, he's been all over the place. Just taking pictures and meeting people, and he's fun to have around.
So he's kind of like the runt of the litter, and so he kind of got booted for that reason.
Yeah, he's definitely not a Bigfoot, if you will. He's definitely shunned and was made fun of and kicked out of their community. So he actually enjoys being around people, and we take him all over the place.
Awesome. Yep, I've not got to meet him.
Welcome
back.
If it does it again, y'all just take them too. I'm not fighting this internet tonight.
It's okay. You're all right. We were just talking about Bodine. I was getting to know who he is. So I hope I get to meet him sometime for sure.
Yeah,
the bobblehead Bodine.
You got a bobblehead version.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
There's a toy made of
him. Yeah. He's got toys. He's got shirts. He's got all kinds of stuff.
Hell yeah.
Now, Jezebel I did get to meet in Ohio. So she's usually with you all also?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Jezebel's down here in the basement with me. And Bodine lives with Jay. Jay, his backyard is a big cornfield and woods and all that. So Bodine kind of just hangs out.
Can't imagine that shit with red.
Right. And Jezebel, so Jezebel's our shithouse demon. And we actually, it's Annabelle's second cousin removed from Kentucky. It's a whole big story. Mm-hmm. But she actually lives in an outhouse that we built her. And yeah, she travels. She loves people. The thing is when you see her and you hold her, you got to sign the outhouse. We have everybody sign that. So if you guys are going to be at one of the conventions that we're at the rest of this year, please make sure to stop over and see her, get your picture taken with her, sign the outhouse. She loves it. She's actually kind of pissed at me right now because we haven't done anything with her in a while. So.
Yep, I know my name's on the outhouse somewhere.
I haven't signed it yet.
Or she just cursed, or what?
She has just a little mind of her own. Sometimes she can be not too nice. Usually it's with me, but
if you really want to find out the story, go to LEP Productions YouTube channel. Click on the Jezebel Chronicles. The whole story so far up till we was not able to road anymore because COVID is there. And there's still some side stories that we haven't been able to get on there yet that are coming.
Sweet.
Yeah, we do have a couple that are in the final stages of editing and will be released here shortly. So.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Go check her out.
I am definitely going to check them out. Does she have a page also?
No, she does not.
Okay.
Bodine does, though. Bodeen, the Bigfoot. And he is on Facebook. You can check him out there, but Jezebel does not.
Okay. So what got you guys into the paranormal? Do you guys have experiences that just triggered you to be a part of this? You guys just crazy like the rest of us? What is it? What is it about the field that got you into all this?
I'll go real quick and I'll be done. My wife made me go. I met Joe. And it's his fault that I'm still here 15 years later.
Nice. Okay.
It's all Teresa and Joe's fault. I wouldn't be involved with this. Well, then a few weeks later, I met Jason. That was icing on the cake because of those two and my wife. It's their fault. It's all their fault.
You met good company, at least. That's good.
They didn't, but I did.
I don't know, Jason. What got you going?
Oh God, I'm old, so I'm 20 plus years doing this. I actually started to kind of confront my fears, if you will. It scared the shit out of me to think that there was other things out there, that go bump in the night, that kind of thing. So I started doing it to kind of get over my fear of it. And then a couple of us here in the local law enforcement agency. We started a team, and that's how we started Lake Erie Paranormal 20 plus years ago. And we were doing it to kind of give back to the community, and we did a bunch of fundraisers and that sort of thing here locally. But the idea for me to start investigating was to get over the fears and haven't looked back.
Very cool. Very cool.
What about you, Joe?
Mr.
Well,
Smockery.
So I grew up watching, and I'm gonna date myself. I grew up watching shows
Just like high school, right?
Right, in Search of, with like Leonard Nimoy, with my father, and which is a very old show. And there was always like the Bigfoot and the ghost stuff and Loch Ness Monster, which I was born in Scotland, so that kind of but I always grew up like a skeptic. So I had something happen to me. I'd say probably late 90s. And so I was like, okay, this is, me being the skeptic. I was like, okay, I can't explain that. Like, that was kind of jacked up. So in 2000, I kind of hit the field running, and it was like, okay, you know what? Like, I didn't do it to help people and all that other crap that everyone says. That wasn't me. I wanted to know my own, like, I wanted to answer my own questions. Yeah. And here I am, 24 years later, still trying to answer questions.
Still don't have all of them answered then, I assume.
Nope. Yeah. You answer one and then 10 more pop up. So
it's interesting to me that Jason mentions the police force and all that. I've noticed a commonality with a lot of investigators. They're either in some sort of law enforcement or security. That seems to be a very common field for people that are in this field. And I think it's just that investigation curiosity that those in that field have, So it's really interesting that you mentioned that.
I like the investigation part of it. I also like the history of locations. If you're going into the name locations or things like that. We stopped doing residentials. I did a residential about 5 months ago for the first time, and only because this was somebody that we have helped out in the past. And I don't know about you guys, but we did, when you start the team, you're doing residentials all the time. And it just got to the point where it was like people were just having the in so they could see a live version of, right, ghost hunters or whatever in their living room. And they'd have their aunt and uncle and cousins, and there'd be, snacks and food. And it got to the point where, we're taking time away from our family, and, everybody works. So you do your job all day. You leave your family to go try to help another family. And it was just kind of turned into that sort of thing. So we stopped doing residentials a long time ago, and it turned more for me into delving into the history and why things would happen, and that sort of thing as far as investigating.
Well, and the issue with residentials is people always wait till the last minute to get help. They always wait until things are emergency and they need somebody there right away. And like you said, we all have families and we all have jobs, and like we can't just drop everything just to come and help you out. But it's not a circus. We don't put on a show for people. So I definitely respect and understand exactly what you're saying about residentials. So we want to help. If that's what we're there for, that's what we want to do. Just don't wait till the last minute.
Right. Yeah, I've been to a few of those circus residentials, and it's like, why am I even here? It's like
free food for me, bub. They don't have snacks and drinks and shit. Fuck. Okay, let's party. Where's the beer? I mean, what?
Jay, you're all about that gathering, though, right?
I want to have fun.
Do you prefer to be that way? Yeah. And that's the thing too. We could have fun, but sometimes people are in desperate need of help.
But I use even no matter where we're at, I use a lot of my own energy, and I'm always goofing off and making comments. But I have found the few times we do residentials, it relieves the tension for the family, and you get them to calm down. If you can get them to calm down, because when they're excited and they're scared, all that things, they're over sensationalizing 9 times out of 10 what really happened, because it's so fresh and they're so afraid of it, things like that. If you can use that comedy and stuff, you can change that energy level with them and get them to calm down. You get more of an actual, truthful story of what their experiences are, and not just their fear. So it calms them down, whether it be adults, whether it be children, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. So using that as a tool is what I do. And a lot of people just think I'm in there making fun and having a good old time. But you'll notice how that changes their energy and it changes their perspective. Now, once you change their perspective, you also get a more direct answers to what they're doing, because they have now become comfortable with not only their environment, but with you. You've made them feel comfortable. So now they have a tendency to open up more to you, to discuss things that they would have answered before, because they're guarded and defensive and everything else. So there's a whole psychological side of it that's actually applied than just having fun. There really is.
I respect that. And that makes sense to build that rapport with them. Absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, that's one of my things was I do a residential. I want to put the family's mind at ease. I don't want to go into a house and find a ghost that they have to then live with. I can't help them. I want them to be at peace when I leave.
Right.
So.
And humor does a lot of things with that. Like I said, it also gets them to relax and to open up even more. Because when, like you said, with the rapport, if you build that rapport with people that you're on the same level and understanding, they open up a lot more and they discuss a lot more with you. But if you go near, I've got my pen and paper, let's take this notes, and and it becomes almost a business style or a grilling.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're like, you know, and so therefore they kind of don't think things through. They get more defensive. They shorten your answers, and you're not getting the true information that you actually need to find out whether it's something actually paranormal or they're just having some kind of experiences that throw sensationalize it. You need that client. If you're going to do residential, in my opinion, you need them to open up. And the way to get them to open up is make them feel comfortable with you by whatever means.
Right. I think you can get so much farther just being yourself,
right,
and not being this cookie cutter ghost hunter that everyone watches on TV and shit. And hey, that's great, you know. But like, I find humor in everything. Everything.
Yeah, we do.
And you know, I like to have fun. I mean, you know, I took my meds today, so the itching is down, right?
So right.
Like I want to have, shirt. Like I want paranormal crash tummy.
You're gonna have to stand up on the top step.
Well, I've got 2 phone books under me right now, and they.
Oh, you're sitting. I thought you were still standing on the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So you like Jay was saying, you gotta. I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this without hurting people's feelings and stuff.
Say it. But quit being a sissy.
Well, but you just, you know what? You got to have fun. You got to be real. Like people can read a robot textbook answer. And I've been doing this for a couple years. So I've seen that happen where these people, like Jay said, you know, let me get my notebook and man, goddamn, just have a conversation with somebody.
Relax.
You know? Just have a conversation with the family. You know, just kind of not saying make a joke of it. Don't make a mockery of it, but like, just be yourself.
And be careful with what you're saying to these families, because that's the other part that pisses me off. And we've went in so many times, and this last one that we did, we helped before, because we had went in after a team. And be careful with what you're saying to these families, because they're calling you in because they want your help. And you're going in and you're telling them that you're taking a witch and putting it in a plastic bag.
I was hoping for this story.
And putting it in the trunk of your vehicle and taking this witch away from the house to let it go in a Meyer parking lot. And you need to sell your dresser and all your stuff in this bedroom because you've got attachments to where these people are believing this stuff.
Right.
And they're getting ready to sell all their stuff, and they're getting ready to put their house up, and they think they've got witches that are attacking these children. Stop doing that.
And my other part of that story is when they not only did they take the witch to the parking lot and open up the trunk in the bag and let her out, but they bound her to the one light pulse, and all she does is spin around the pool. Yeah. She's now a stripper in bars parking lot.
And I wish this was a made up story. I honestly wish that we were making this up. It's not made up.
No.
Holy shit.
Hey, I know someone that spins around the pole like that.
Right. This witch does.
But that's an Okinawa, and that the whole itch thing. No, but
Yeah, that has nothing to do with itch, huh?
No.
It could lead to it.
I take my Monopoly money up here.
They didn't bring her to Indiana and drop her off at my Meyer, right?
No, it stayed local. It stayed local here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So somebody who says they're medium or psychic probably did that, I assume.
It was a remote medium.
I told her it was there.
That was talking to this team. This team went in, and now, mind you, I mean, and like I said,
there's people that are good at what they do with that. There really are. We're not knocking that. My wife's a medium. I'm an extra large, but
yeah, you are.
You're dealing with different things with one of the children that had some special needs, if you will, and you're telling these people that there's things attacking this child, and it wasn't that at all. It was problems with the child that, thank God, we went in and was able to help out a little bit. And they were able to then look more with the child and get the help and that sort of thing, and was able to save all their furniture in their house, for God's sakes. They didn't sell any of it. And everybody's still alive today, and their house hasn't, the walls don't drain blood and, that kind of thing. But, and
that witch is one dizzy bimbo.
Yeah, she's still, I mean, every once in a while on a full moon, you can still see her. Like, God damn, somebody let me go from this pole, for God's sakes.
She's still bound to it by spell casting.
Yeah.
Wingardium Leviosa. Flick.
Like I said, those kind of residentials, I'll be more than happy to go in and help. But,
absolutely.
That kind of thing. And I 100% agree with what everybody's saying on the show. You have to have a good time, but there's also a time to be serious and
every time
and get down to business as well. But if you're not having a good time doing this, then I challenge you as to why.
Now,
why do you do it?
If I'm in a pay to play and pay to investigate, I'm having my fun.
I won't do it. I won't do it. I don't know. I'm not a pay to play type of person.
No?
At least not when it comes to paranormal. So
no, we usually pay his way because he's too cheap.
Oh, gotcha.
But see, here's the thing. Kids usually get in free, so we just throw a little flashlight on him, take him in, and it's all good. It's all good.
You got to be this tall to ride this ride, right?
Right.
That's what she said.
Many times. But no, like.
I get what you're saying, and I respect.
I'm trying not to say this without saying
it
because I'm not going to say.
Oh, not locations, but just say what you say.
But there's a lot of places, and I'm not going to say who, but like your place ain't that off the hook. It's not. It's not.
And I mean,
I can post videos every day of people in my location that end up running away scared just to hype the place up. And I'm not like, come on, man. Like,
well, and
some of these people look at this place like, okay, we want to experience whatever happens there. And then there's some people that literally take this as true gold, man. Like, so whatever you post about your location or about a location, man, people really take that to heart. And to me, you're misleading people.
But the mind's a powerful tool, and that's why I always say the thing about: are you experiencing manifestation, or are you manifesting your experience? Both of them are cool, but one of them's something that you created because somebody's told you it's going to be there, and you knew it was going to happen, so you made that happen through your mind. But the other one's a whole different ballgame. So I agree with what Joe's saying there. A lot of that, when people do that, they put this in there, and then actually everybody's got the same evidence. There was a place there outside of Indiana, right there in Indianapolis, a house that got destroyed because the people told lies about it, and come find out that it was wired and rigged and everything else. And there's big name teams that was going there at the time, getting all kinds of evidence. Find out they all didn't do the real investigation because they were all being duped. Remember, Brad?
Yep, Black Moon Manor.
I was going to name it. You did.
Oh.
I'll name it.
He can.
They can, Jay. It's their show.
Exactly. But I'm just saying that
I lived like 7 miles from that building, And
Everything about the guy that.
How many times do you get possessed, Brad? Because if you're within a 10-mile radius of demons,
That's all my
they
possession.
usually take possession of you at least once.
Yeah, that means you got to go drink some moon water to save yourself.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy was one of the very first people who like blocked me on Facebook ever.
Yep. I remember all that went down. I remember all that. That's what I'm saying. So I get what you're saying. All these pay-for plays, they hype them up, and then people capture evidence that they're told to capture when they're not really experiencing what, like Joe said, they're not actually going in and feeling the environment, learning the environment, and doing an actual investigation. They're just going in looking for what they've been told to look for.
Right.
So
I like going to lesser known ones that aren't booked every weekend, and going to, if I go to a pay to play, I want to go to one that's not like super well known. I like going to the smaller ones.
And we like going in there just so we can and mess with each other too, because we're going to set each other up and scare each other. So we have fun with it.
There's a place right there by you, Brad, that I was actually we had a group that went in one night. We were the first ones to ever investigate this place. And and it's literally right in your backyard, Brad. And I had a pretty oh shit moment. And I mean, we had to sign waivers with the owners because they didn't want this going out public and all this hoopla, right? So a couple years later, me and my wife were sitting there. We're like, well, let's watch some ghost hunting shit, right? And she puts on a certain show, and I'm getting dinner finished up, and I'm like, gave her the remote. I'm like, here, find something. She put on a certain show that I'm not going to name any names, and I hear her from the living room. She's like, oh yeah, shit, we can't watch this. So I come in the living room. I'm like, hey, what are we watching? She's like, nope, we're not watching this. And I'm like, why aren't we watching this? She's like, because it's going to piss you off. And I'm like, weird, right? So I'm like, let's just watch it. She goes, no, really, like, because my wife was actually with us that night. And I'm like, no, let's just watch it. She's like, okay, but you're going to get mad. And the show started, and the owner was telling a story, was telling my experience that happened to them, and that's what got them wanting people to come in. And I'm like, damn, that looks familiar. And all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up, and it's all the people that were with us that night. And they're like, hey, you watching this? You watching? And I'm like, I'm just starting to watch it, but what the hell? And they literally took it and
made it theirs.
Took my experience and numerous people that were there that night and turned it into damn near my ghost story. Like, all that stuff was happening to them, and I'm like, oh hell no. But yeah, and I mean, I know 3 people that were standing next to me when I seen what I seen, but yet the owner seen that, and I was like, oh no. I was like, well, I said, okay.
That's still your story. I'm sure that happens a lot. Especially I mean, you guys do production. Do you guys see that where you're starting on a story and then next thing you know, it's like somebody took your story?
All the time.
Like, you talked to the wrong person and now your story's their story?
That's funny you would bring that up.
we put everything out publicly on it. We talk about what our ideas or everything else very publicly and very openly. So that way when somebody does take it, they can't say, well, no, they never said that. Bullshit, we talked about it openly and publicly. So if you're doing what we already said we were going to do, or you using something we already said we were going to do, there's proof out there that we already said and done these things. It's already timestamped from being on a podcast or whatever.
It just happened last week.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But
should I just get the checkbook out now?
No, why?
You might want to.
Nope. We're happy for them. That's what they would do. I mean, this gets into the other thing that Jason talked about earlier, whenever he decides to talk about it, but they've actually used even part of our name for their new adventure and stuff. And it is what it is. Good for them. I wish them all the best and success. We're not knocking on anybody.
Absolutely.
But it's amazing that when we announce what we're doing, next thing others, we're revamping and redoing our stuff. So we're going to add this. We're going to do that. And it's like, we're not. Do it, baby. Do it. We're happy for you. We're happy for you. but we're still coming with what we're doing because you expand your thing and make yours whatever you want to make it into, and even make it where it's more going to be a competition to what we're doing. That's not a competition to us. If that's what you think it is, then that I feel sorry for you, because there's room enough for everybody, and we're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to do it our way. Yeah. And that's just, you're not going to stop us. The only people that stop us is the three of us dumbasses. Well, and our wives. Our wives, they go, stop it. We're like, okay, sorry.
Yeah. This, what Jay's talking about, and Joe's too, we're not starting said thing for a competition.
No.
We've thought about doing stuff for years, and things have always kind of slowed it or derailed it, or
I'll just say what it is.
And finally, we said at the beginning of this year we're doing it no matter what. We're doing a bunch of different things this year, no matter what. And so far, everything that we've said we're going to do is right there.
That's awesome. Well, here's the thing: you guys could probably do it better too.
We're going to do it different.
Way more entertaining.
Maybe not better, but we will be doing it differently. And if that's for each individual to judge. Just like Jason said the other night on our podcast, you got ABC, NBC, CBS. There's all these different things for a reason. And some people's going to like the way we're doing things, and some people's not going to like the way they're doing things. So it's not a competition. You do you, boo-boo, and do it your way, and it's great. And if you take some of the things that we've already announced and you're going to now put them on yours, and that's fine. There's plenty of things going on. This isn't, like Jason just said, this is not a competition to us. This is something that we are passionate about, that we have discussed for over 5 years in the works to get this to where we're at right now. And like for Brian coming along and Gary coming along, we are a lot farther along than we've ever been before.
Yeah, Brian's actually in the chat room right now.
Yeah. Without Brian, we wouldn't be where we're at. Without Gary, they're ready to kick the doors open. So, and Jason, kick the doors open to what, Jason?
Yeah.
What, Jason? I'm listening.
We want to talk about this. We want to know what you've got going on.
All right. So what we're doing is we're starting a streaming network called The Dark Realm. And the streaming network will be everything paranormal, cryptid, UFO, urban legend, podcasting, and we'll also have a dedicated channel for horror movies, indie movies, that sort of thing. We have talked about doing this for years. And you know, we all have people that say, God, I wish I had a platform. I wish I had a platform that I could put our stuff.
The networks won't take this. The networks
won't do this. Yeah. So, but I wish there was somewhere that we could put this so that it could be in everybody's living room. And the three of us got with BD Morgan, who's Brian, who's in here, and Gary. And we just decided that we were going to look into what it takes to build a streaming platform. Now, it's not a streaming platform like .com. This is Roku,
Fire Stick,
Apple TV, Fire Stick, and it'll also be on apps to download on Android and iPhone. The top 5 biggest streaming platforms that are out there. And it takes a shitload of work to do this. It's not like just starting up something, and there's a ton of back work that goes into trying to make this and figure out what we need. I mean, you've got to start with building a website, so you have a spot to take and put the content, to transfer the content to the cloud, to build and write all this different formatting for the Roku channel. Then you've got to submit stuff, and you've got to, I mean, there's tons of waivers, and it's a ton of work. And for the people that are doing it, I applaud you 100%, because it takes a lot of work to get it up and running and to do. What we were talking about is the fact that so far the only thing out there has been a paranormal dedicated channel. There hasn't been any cryptid Bigfoot channel. There hasn't been a UFO channel.
Well, there is now.
There hasn't been an urban legend channel. There hasn't been anything dedicated to podcasts that can put their stuff together and send it and get it out there on Roku and all that stuff. There hasn't been any of that. And since we've started talking about building the Dark Realm, talked about building this and doing it, now all of a sudden people are added to Bigfoot. channel, and people are adding a podcast channel, and people are adding, which is great. Like I said, we're building this for the average person. We're building this for everybody that's in this community, so that you have a platform to put your stuff out there, so people sitting in their living room can turn on their Roku TV and click on that app, and now you have everything that you want through our channel. We're not doing it to make money. We're doing it so that we can make enough money to keep the channel going, because contrary to what people think, it costs money to do this.
It's not cheap.
It costs money to run this channel.
It's not free.
And you know what made me think about that? Part of it was, so I've been doing YouTube for a little bit, and I reached out to somebody that had a network similar to that. And one of the first questions I got asked is, well, what's your following? And it's like, fuck, I don't know, 6 people, 10 people, I don't know. And I was like, wow, okay. So in us building this, we don't want to ask that question. I mean, hell, I spent last night going over somebody's content that wants to come aboard. I spent some time at work today going over a different show or different creators stuff. And it's like, no, you know what? Come on. You're like, we're not going to be those, well, you know, your views aren't going to get us ratings, so we're not going to take you. No, this is for people like us that have content or that want to create content that are, quote, I guess, ain't good enough to get on, you know, whatever.
Right.
You know what?
And they give you a bigger place and opportunity to go farther than what YouTube's a great thing, don't get me wrong, but my channel's one channel of how many millions of people's got a YouTube channel. I mean, if you type my name in there, you're going to find 50 other people with the same name, if not more. Mine's going to be, so because it's so inactive, it's going to be so far down the list, you may never scroll down far enough to find the sumbits. So we wanted to make a platform to where it was more feasible, more accessible to not only people in the paranormal, but also the general community, because there is a lot of entertainment value to a lot of this also. So you have to look at that. And with building the channel, like Jason said and Joe said about with the community and not wanting to make money, we have every intention of building this channel. And like, say, Brad, you got a show and you're filming stuff, and you're doing great, you're doing good, and the ratings for you are really good and stuff, and we got enough money there's a convention in Illinois that you want to go to and say, hey man, since you're on Dark Realm, we won't be able to send you. We won't pay for your table. We won't pay for your travel. We'll pay for your, and because you're going to advertise for us because you're on the network.
Right.
We want to be able to give that opportunity though to help the people get to the whatever, and say that if this thing goes really well and your show goes really well, and some network comes on and says, man, I like your show idea, I want to buy you and your show. Go. Thank God we was able to help you get to the next level. Go.
Right.
The only paperwork that will be signed with this network is the fact that we are allowed to use your content, because that has to be done through Roku and all that. So for copyright issues and everything else, so that when we submit it to our channel, it goes and they say, do you have their permission to stream it? Do you have that? That's the only thing. We're not going to lock you into a 5-year contract where now we own all your shit and you can't do anything with it, and we own it and we can. That's not. We're not building this channel for that. We're building this channel for everybody so that they have a platform they can put their stuff
and to grow together, to grow the community and grow together.
I definitely respect the vision for sure, because I am a big fan of, even just on my own show, allowing people who don't usually have a voice to come on, because they don't have the following, to come on here and just tell their stories. Sure. So I absolutely respect for sure that network logic there, because that's kind of what I do just for my show itself.
Mm-hmm. But that's it. We've been doing it for years. Joe was even on FM radio and stuff. Jason, like you said, all the years he's been involved with filming and making movies and everything else. Me with the podcasting for years. We've always done that also, and we just want to, like Jason said earlier, everybody's always said, I wish there was a bigger network. I wish there was a bigger network. And finally we just said, you know what? Why don't we do it?
Yeah. Just make it ourselves and make it the way we want it.
But it came down to the point of, I dare you, quit talking your shit and be about your shit. And it's like, you dare me?
Yeah. Game on. Like I said, we started this year with Put Up or Shut Up.
Yep.
Pretty much this is it. If we weren't going to do it this year, it's never going to happen. It's just not. It's just things happen. We all, everybody here, we all have jobs. We all have families. We all have everything else. So this is over and above all the other shit that we're doing. And it was just finally, we're like, you know what? Let's look at it. Let's try to figure this out. And I've said from the beginning, surround yourself with good people, good things happen. And that's exactly what we've done. We've surrounded ourselves with good people. Good things are happening. We're building this network. And it's set to launch. I mean,
yeah, it's very close.
And when Brian stepped on, it was like this. When Brian stepped on, straight up. I mean, it was like when the Blue Angels just hit the afterburners, went straight up. It was gone. Yep. It was like rocket shit.
He was calling us. We were having phone meetings and stuff.
Then he introduced us to Gary, and we gave him our idea for that teaser and how he brought that together from what we told him and visualized and I can't compliment enough for the two of them. With that, they are a very, very intricate part of and without them, we wouldn't be where we're at.
And we want to thank everybody for sharing that and viewing it and whatever. I think we're over 6,500 views just on that short reel
intro
that we put together. So it grows every day. Things are growing for us every day. We're excited about it. We're excited about doing this. And that's not the only thing we got. No. We also we're also working with the Angry Irishman, and we're building through that company. We are working with them to build our own hot sauce. So we have Three Jokers hot sauce that will be out here soon. The first one is more of a fruity,
mild for people like me.
Very mild,
fruity flavor.
For fruity flavored like me.
He's the fruity one, right?
I don't do hot. Jalapeno is hot enough for me. That's it. Anything after that, I cry, bail out, and they make fun of me. And
this is we started with this one so that everybody has be able to try it. That it's not going to turn you off on the hot sauce. Our goal is to make 3 or 4 with the Angry Irishman, and we'll start where we did, and we'll gradually build from there. But it's called the Three Jokers hot sauce, and we're in the process of getting all the FDA paperwork, because who does anything that's easy, right? All of the stuff we're doing takes forever, and it's a big investment, and we're excited about doing that. We're traveling, we're doing conventions, we're filming, we're doing a bunch of stuff. So like I said, this is the year. This is the year for LEP Productions, and we're going to be bringing you guys a ton of really fun stuff, and hopefully we get to see everybody on the road.
That's awesome. Now I look forward to the hot sauce because I love hot food, so I look forward to that.
I'm with Jay. I'm more of not hot.
I tell you what, man, it has a very, very wonderful flavor profile, and that's one thing I can say with Angry Irishman, angryirishman.net. He has hot sauces. They're from mild to absolutely. The one's called Y sauce, and it made me hiccup and cry, and I ain't ashamed of it. But he's also got gourmet mustards that are from mild to hot. He makes seasoning blends and a barbecue sauce. So if you're looking for something to really bring some flavoring and spices to your stuff, go check him out. The garlic one's great. The Jerkin My Gherkin is made with a gherkin pickle base. It's wonderful. There's 2 of them. I don't even like olives, but he made them with an olive base. I don't like olives, but those have an absolutely amazing flavor, the flavor profile. So working with him to build this to have a wonderful flavor profile, and then you can bring up your heat index. So that's the whole principle of it.
I will say,
and he's a local guy. He's a local guy. He's local with me. We had him over when all of us were together. He came over to the house, brought all of his stuff over, and we had a huge tasting the one night and had a blast.
We tried everything. Yeah. And cool. I will say I have lived all over the world, right? Just in my couple of years living. And I will say, hands down, it is the best hot sauce line that I have ever had.
Oh, the gourmet mustards. Oh my God. And I don't even like mustard.
Yeah, like I said,
I do now.
By the time I was 21, I had lived in more countries than I had states. And
oh wow.
And so I've eaten all kinds of stuff that we should probably talk about. But
cat food sandwich, cat food taco.
Cat food sandwiches.
That one day in Okinawa.
Nah, Okinawa, and I still got the itch.
Canned snails.
And mayo on my Big Mac. But I'm not gonna get into that one. But no, like this is the best line of hot sauce I have ever had in my life.
Awesome.
I'm so happy to work with him with what we're doing.
Yeah.
He's such a great guy and a great company that he has, and he has very good. Everything is like Jason said. He is local there in Northern Ohio. It's also everything is absolutely organic. There's no crazy stuff to it. It's all fresh ingredients. It's made small batch, so that way it contains a good flavor profile. It's locally sourced as much as possible. Hence, some of the stuff he used to grow himself. So it's all fresh ingredients into it. It's just and the flavor profiles. Like I said, that's the biggest thing that I'm not a hot person, but on top of that, I never liked the traditional hot sauce, but hot pepper soaked in vinegar and pureed. I don't like the vinegar taste, and I don't like the heat. So when they started introducing the Angry Irishman, I now can't say that I don't like hot sauces. There's so many of them that I do like because they do have such a flavor profile.
But they burn you.
And I don't mind. I like Cajun. I don't like hot Cajun. But I like something spice with some flavor. I'm about just because it's hot and it burns my face off. I don't want that. That's why I never would do wings. There's always that buffalo wing sauce is nothing but hot sauce and butter. So now you got greasy vinegar. No thanks. I'll pass.
I'm finally, after about noon today, okay after this.
The flaming anus.
What is that?
It was a candy bar called the Flaming Anus.
Yeah,
Really?
You ate that on Monday, right?
Yeah, yeah. Until Wednesday at noon, I was still dealing with it.
2.2 million Scovilles per brick, and there's 8 little bricks on that thing. And he ate the whole bar.
He was a trooper.
He was a pooper too.
Dude, I'm telling you, that whole night I woke up at 2:00 and 4:30 like I was sleeping underneath a thermal electric blanket, fucking just drenched in sweat. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, man.
That's a pretty hardcore detox there you're doing.
No, it was bad. It was bad.
See, Jason likes to eat the hot stuff. I just eat the nasty stuff.
Yeah, what was that thing you ate a couple weeks ago that was the RE?
MRE.
Oh,
Yeah.
the MRE from Lithuania?
Yeah.
So I bought this thing, 2-3 years, like before COVID. And I was like, I'm going to eat this on the show one night. And we never did. So it just sat here. So we did a challenge when we came up with the Dark Realm logo. And we were like, hey, if we get X amount of people to change their profile picture on Facebook to this logo, Joe's going to eat this probably outdated MRE. So I'm like,
and it was outdated.
Screw it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That was bad, man. That was bad. It was supposed to be like pork and barley, and it tastes like canned cat food.
Yeah,
and he knows what that tastes like because he ate that too.
Yeah, I watched most of that show that night. It looked very unappetizing.
Well, you're probably supposed to cook it, which I did
Supposed to heat it up. To heat it up.
I didn't do that. I just said screw it. I'm just gonna open it up. And yeah, it was.
He paid the price for that too.
Oh yeah.
Now while Jason was eating his 2.2 million Scoville candy bar, I suffered and ate some peanut butter fudge I made with 2 ingredients, and it was actually quite delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, so horrible.
Yeah, Jay took one for the team that night and had some peanut butter fucking fudge.
I'm thinking when they come up to Wisconsin in November, we should get some canned snails.
No. I'm bringing the challenge with me.
I'm pretty sure I don't think I can do that.
Yes, you can.
What?
It's a texture thing. That will be the first time in the history of stirring the pot that
you ate a flaming anus.
We've been close to puking on the show and the lives, and see that's the thing with this show. We've eaten so many different nasty things on the show,
including tarantulas.
We did a show at the Rhodes where we ate and did a whole bunch of stuff and raised money for a food
Marmite.
And, oh my god! I mean, we have done some pretty off the wall
canned delivered pate with clam juice for the refreshing drink.
Yep,
the clam juice wasn't bad.
Nasty.
My beautiful wife. My beautiful wife put together a packet for us that we couldn't open until we got there, so we didn't even know what we were opening to eat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Brad was at ShadowCon when Jay and I had to eat
Bull balls, boiled bull balls.
Yep,
Now,
chicken feet,
the egg was the worst for me because
boiled eggs soaked in Fireball whiskey,
Yep.
because the
remember
night
that.
before was my birthday, and
Fireball flowed.
and everybody got me drunk on Fireball.
Yeah.
And I'm normally not hungover,
But that's
I
not
felt
where
like
we.
dog shit.
Maybe we'll do something at Bell City.
Well, we're supposed to.
Where we'll put together some stuff. We'll take donations, raise some money, and then we'll figure out
I heard there's some jerky coming to
charity or something up by you,
but
Joe, and we'll donate.
yeah, we'll do something with the jerky stuff. We're just going to do anyway. If there's something other kind of challenge for a charity, we'll make a whole different thing. But the jerky is going to be done just because I don't know. I'm an ass, and basically, I found a recipe where you can take Spam and make it into jerky. And I also found out that there's 6 or 7 flavors of Spam. So I'm going to have to make all the flavors of Spam into jerky. And then we're going to all sit down and try all the different flavors of Spam jerky.
Oh,
right there at the convention.
Jay,
at the convention.
What are the little hot dog things that have like the
Vienna
sausages? I got a can there.
Where we ate them when you pull it out and it had like the
slime all over and shit,
slimy shit on it. Yeah,
dude, I got a can in there right now. I was going to bring to you because I know you'll like this one. It's Vienna sausages and bourbon barbecue. I know, being a bourbon barbecue, you will love that. I thought of my brother.
As long as it doesn't have the gooey.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well,
you gotta
Vienna sausages.
You got to take the sausage and get the gooey stuff off.
You got it once you eat all the sausages out of there, you're supposed to drink the juices left. Oh yeah, that's a delicacy in Kentucky.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Southern Ohio and Kentucky.
So Jason will eat the bourbon barbecue weenies, and Joe would drink the juice.
Oh
my gosh.
I'll do it. I don't care.
Well, that's something to look forward to to see y'all do that. Before we run out of time, though, guys.
Oh no! Did she freeze?
I do want to want you guys to go ahead and let everybody know where they can follow you from.
That's the president's job.
Much listed in the description, but where do you guys post most at? It's this way for me.
You can LEP Productions on Facebook and YouTube. We also have Bodine the Bigfoot on Facebook. Joe's got the Skeptical Edge TV on YouTube and Facebook. And then our Facebook pages as well. I also have Jason Schneider as a Facebook page. That's where I keep all my filming and all that stuff. This is more of a personal page for me. This is more of a personal page for me, but you can find all the movies and all that stuff on that one as well. I know Joe's getting ready to get back into Twitch and streaming. He does a lot of gaming and that kind of stuff.
I know see the gaming PC back there. Appreciate that.
Jay does a lot of stuff with him as well. So we're all over the place. And like I said, once we launch this Dark Realm network, you'll see it all over our pages.
I make you look bad.
And what we're asking for, guys, is if you have any content that you want put out there, reach out to one of us. Let us know. Let us see what you got so that we can talk to you about what we'll need. We're going to need a thumbnail picture, and we're going to need a description of what you're actually bringing to the network so that people have that to click on so they can access your content. As long as your content doesn't have anything to do with hate speech, derogatory things towards different lifestyles and that sort of stuff,
or bashing other people and places and teams. We're not about all that, man. We're trying to build something together and build things up, not down.
Right. Yeah. That's a good thing.
That'll be the only stuff that we won't take. But if you've ever wanted to get your stuff out there so that people can see what you're doing, it's Dark Realm where fear lives. That's what we're looking for. So, but I know
If it scares you, we want it.
We're talking about photos. If you want to put together something and edit it and do that so that you talk about your photos and do a 30-minute segment and put a couple of things together, be more than happy to put your stuff on this network.
If you do equipment, build equipment, make equipment, or actually want to do shows about education on the paranormal and equipment, things like that, film it, put it together.
I know
it's about building things.
Joe can talk about it. He's was contacted with the guys that do storm chasing. They want to do some stuff and put on the network. So this is your opportunity to have a place to put your stuff. We don't give a shit how many views you have. We don't care how many followers you have. We don't care about any of that. If you have content that you want put out there that you feel comfortable putting out there and want to share it with everybody, let one of us know. And we'll definitely.
And if you're wanting to grow with us, if you want to grow with us, because this is a project about growing together and bringing things along together to another level, and hopefully we can make a lot of more people to be given an opportunity that we wouldn't have had any other way.
Well, I absolutely love the idea, guys. I'm so glad you guys mentioned it on tonight's podcast. Appreciate that so much. So, guys, make sure you follow. All of their links are in the description below. With that said, guys, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, guys, for joining us. Did you have something real quick, Jay?
Nope. Just say thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for having us.
Yep. Thank you for having us on.
Hey,
Clarissa, Brad, thanks. Thank you, both of you, for having us on.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks.
We appreciate you guys. Go ahead.
And we're still gonna have on your show too sometime when we get it worked out.
I was just going to say we're going to have to figure out a Monday when you guys are free and have you guys on stirring the pot. So
and we play by different rules.
Should I be nervous or scared or
no?
Come on, funny feeling.
I see. All right. Well, thank you, everybody that tuned in tonight to join with us to speak with the guys from LAP Productions. And thank you guys again. I hope you all have a great rest of your night. See you next week.
See you guys.